Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. On this episode of Forge Space, we got our inverters back in. So we're gonna go ahead, pull everything out of here, get our controller out because we now have a controller for the battery and the motors. And then after that, you guys have spoken. I asked, what do we do with motors? You guys said, 60% of you said paint them red and 40% of you said leave them aluminum. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a little bit of both. We're gonna paint the center section with a gear drive red, and then the two outsides we're gonna take and polish those up. So stay tuned, let's get this unpacked.
Here's the sound of jumping on bubbles. There you go.
All right guys, so we have our rear motor inverter, and that's the performance one. Front motor, our two oil pumps, everything's reprogrammed to work with this module right here. So it's all potted, nicely sealed. So this guy connects to, where is the can plug? There it is, to this plug right here. And then all this interconnects with our front motor, rear motor, our battery, and our brake switch, and accelerator. So with all that, we can take and assemble those back on the motor, but we're gonna take and polish those up first and then paint the center sections. All right folks, so first we're gonna tackle the small motor up here. We're gonna remove the seal. We're gonna remove the mounting bracket, this guy, and then we're gonna remove the cooler. And the rest of it we're gonna tape away, get this all cleaned up. It's got some oxidation on the aluminum, so we'll get that all cleaned up. And then we're gonna scuff everything up with Scotch-Brite, get it all cleaned up, do a brake clean on it. That way it's completely degreased, everything is completely cleaned off. After we're done with that, we're gonna paint just the top half of the motor, and we're gonna have to let it set up for basically 48 hours so that way we can flip it over and do the bottom side. Then for this guy, we're gonna take some mothers and we're gonna take and polish the crap out of it. So it should be nice and shiny after that. So this is gonna be our preliminary, and then as we build it up, I'm sure we're gonna have to do some touch-up paint here and there, but it shouldn't be too bad. So let's go ahead, pull all these accessory pieces off, and then get it cleaned up and masked off. we got it all scuffed, we're gonna use brake parts cleaner. And remember, brake parts cleaner is a neurotoxin. You don't wanna have it sitting in your hands. Make sure you're wearing gloves and wear eye protection while spraying it. So we're gonna take and clean it off using the brake parts cleaner and some mechanical agitation. And that way, we have a nice clean surface to spray paint on. All right, so it's all masked off, ready to go. So let's go ahead and start spraying it. Remember, respirator.
Yes, painting the roses red.
Not pink, not green.
Not aquamarine.
We're painting the roses red.
All right, so we got that all sprayed. Once it's cured up, we'll take and flip it over and paint the other side. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing to the large drive unit from the rear. All right, and then for the polishing side, that's still curing up, but I went ahead and I decided to do a test of the polish, make sure that this is in fact polishable. And right here you can see how glossy it is from the polish and how dull this surface is from no polish on it at all. So all this stuff is Blue Magic metal polish cream. And all you do is you take it, take a microfiber cloth or paper towel, you scoop up a little bit on the end and you rub it on the surface, and then you rub it, and once it starts turning this grayish black right here, see how it's starting to turn gray? So that means the polish is working and it's chemically polishing the surface of it. And we'll do a little patch right here just so you can see on a fresh surface how much of a difference that makes. And you can see just how much of a difference that made from this dull surface right here to now this, how shiny this is and smooth it is. So this also has a silicone protectant in it, so once you apply it, it's not going to corrode over or haze over again. So we'll do that to the whole motor. Alright, and in case you guys were wondering what filter the Tesla takes, so this is the original Tesla one. Same size, same thread pitch, same bladder, same relief. So it's all the same, and look at that, it's a Wix. So Wix 51356 is the same exact size as your Tesla. So if you're ever gonna replace one of these, boom. Just get yourself a Wix. For $15 for this versus the $58 for the original OEM Tesla. I think that's a smart choice, no brainer right there. Okay, we do have to paint the backside still here, but we're gonna go ahead and put our oil pump back in. And the front motor and rear motor oil pumps are the same, so they are interchangeable. Make sure we got it nice and clean. All right, so it goes in this way. I goofed and I missed when I was spraying that. I didn't tape it off on the inside the first time, so it got a little bit of paint on the contact. So we're gonna use a Q-tip and some solvent and clean it all off. Let's go ahead and pull these screws out, and then we can go ahead and put our inverter back on here. Like I said in a previous video, this is our thermal transfer pad. Just need to make sure this guy is clean. So this guy makes heat transfer to the case right here. studs. Carefully. See if I can do this blind. Okay, that's one blind. Because I can't see the backside. So we're gonna snug this side up, that way it pulls it in, and then tighten the other ones. Alright, bueno. Get the rest of these in here. And this guy's a wrap. So the one thing I do need to do on this one is I need to take and make a new port for this. I don't think I'm going to use Tesla's hard tubing. So this stuff with a clips, I don't think I'm going to use that. I think I'm going to make basically a barb fitting for both sides and use the O-rings. So got to CAD something up for that, and then I will 3D print them. Oops, almost forgot the vent port.
Alright guys, that's going to be a wrap for this episode. We went ahead, got both motors completely reassembled. They are ready to rock and roll. And I do kind of have it wired in on the bench. We still need to connect in the battery, controller, and do a test run. So hopefully on the next episode, we'll be connecting this up with the battery and then having them remote in and reprogram the battery for us, so that way everything works. Now, there's two things that caveat that. It says that in order for the contactors to close, it has to have the motors in the loop, and it has to have a high voltage interconnect circuit in the loop. Now, to have a high voltage interconnect circuit in the loop, you have to have the heater, and then you have to have the compressor. We don't have those. So one part of the website says you only need the motors. The other part of the website says you need both. We'll see how things go. If we need to find the right resistance to put in the loop, just for the heater and compressor side, we'll go ahead and do that. But for now, it's a wrap. See you guys next time. Thanks for watching.